Hi, I'm Jo from J.H.Leather and welcome to this episode of the J.H.Leather Podcast. In this episode, we talk about cloud bothering, my final one-to-one workshops for 2022, and looking ahead to this month's make-alongs. So it has been another busy month for me here at J.H.Leather, and it started off actually with something that wasn't leather work, but something that was very enjoyable nonetheless. And Tim and I went clay shooting for the first time in about 3 or 4 months, which was really nice. Now, it's not so much clay shooting when we go out, it's more cloud bothering, and our scores reflect that. So we did 100 rounds or 100 clays, and Tim got 44 and I got 35, which is pretty good for us. We don't go that often. So that was a really good day out. We had really good weather for it, and it meant that I also got to take out my super cartridge bag that I absolutely love and adore, which is always a good thing to get that out. It does, however, reflect not the state of my gun slip, because it's new. It is very nice. However, it is a fabric one. It's a canvas one, and I am thinking the more I see it out next to my nice cartridge bag, the more I think maybe I should make myself a gun slip to go with it. Now, it is something that I have thought about, but I have been putting off because I don't think the sewing machine that I have is going to be heavy duty enough to get through the thicknesses of leather that I am thinking of using on it. I'm not too sure. I would have to do a test just to check. So I have made some gun slip cases in the past, and I have like a full zip down it, and also I like to put a spine on the opposite side, which I can attach the handles and stuff to. And so that equals a lot of stitching, and even though my shotgun's quite small, I don't know if I'd want to hand stitch all of that, because like I said, there is going to be a lot of it. And basically the way I would do it, I would also probably have not a real fleece because that's too heavy, but a false sort of fleece lining as well on the inside. And that's going to be quite a lot for my sewing machine to go through. I think, like I said, I'm going to have to do a test first just to see. But yeah, I don't know. It also means that I have to use a sewing machine, which is fine, but I'm not the best machinist by any stretch of the imagination, which is why I do lean towards doing hand stitching more, because I am more comfortable with that. And yeah, but we will see. It might be a nice winter project for me, probably not this year, but next year, maybe January, February time. I think that might be maybe we'll see. If there's a lot, if you have to let me know, if there's a lot of you that do want to see a gun slip video, it wouldn't be for rifles, but it would be for like a shotgun sleeve, something like that. Let me know. And if there is a lot of support for it, then it might help me consider making a video on it or not. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. The more I see my canvas slip next to my lovely leather handmade cartridge bag, I'm just like, oh, I'd like a matching one, or as matching as I could get it, because I would probably use different materials on it, I think. However, that was the beginning of the month, and then Tim and I also actually managed to get away because we picked up a new to us boat, which was really exciting. So we went up to Scotland for a quick whistle stop tour. We were up there for 2 nights to pick up our new sailing adventure boat, which is quite exciting. So for those of you that don't know, I do have a second channel. It's called Hi, I'm Jo, and I'll leave that in the description. And it's sort of more lifestyle-y / travel, I guess. But anyway, Tim and I have got a sailing boat, and we do videos on that. And so this is going to be an upgrade to the boat that we have got, which unfortunately we haven't sold yet, which is a bit frustrating. We were hoping that it would sell before we picked up this one, but it hasn't, which is fine. Hopefully it will sell when the season starts up again next year, fingers crossed. But yeah, we picked up this boat. It's lovely. It's so much bigger space-wise. It's only 7 foot longer, but it's so much it's just there's space, which is just amazing, and I can walk around easily on it, which is nice. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting to go out on some adventures on that next year, hopefully. And we had lovely weather to go and pick it up as well. It was absolutely beautiful. We saw some seals on the way over as well, and it was just lovely. And like I said, there will be a video on that, but I'm not too sure when, because I haven't edited any of the Scotland sailing videos this year, and we started our first trip in May. So I've got a lot of editing to do, in the next few months. And so hopefully I'm going to get more time to do that, because the last of the workshops happened this month, which is nice and sad at the same time. I really enjoyed doing the workshop. I know I've said in the past, I absolutely love the workshops, and I had 2 this month, both 2 days over separate weekends, which was really nice. But they do take a lot of time in terms of not being able to do other stuff, as it were. But the plus side, I guess, if you can see it as that, of them stopping, is that I will get more time to do some editing on the other stuff that I enjoy doing. So that's going to be nice. Now, on to the actual workshops themselves. So like I said, there were 2, and they're both over 2 days, and they were both complete beginners, which was nice to get them started in their leathercraft journey. So it started with a gentleman called Gary at the beginning of the month, and he is looking at something to do when he retires in a few years' time. And sort of leathercraft was where he was looking for that. He's done a couple of workshops in the past with some other people, and he's been down to the Warsaw Leather Museum and done a few bits there as well. So he had a little bit behind him, but not too much. And I think he said he hadn't done anything in between the workshops that he had done. So yeah, but it was great to have him down in the workshop. He brought some of his own tools, which was nice. So we started by getting them set up and ready to use, which didn't take too long to do, which was nice. And then we cracked on and got started. So we started out by making a knife sheath for his leathercraft knife that he'd brought. So we did that because that's a really nice project. You got lots of stuff to do in there. So we did a bit of pattern making, and obviously we're sort of cutting it out, and then everything else is what you would do with any other leathercraft project, which is why we started on that one, and that came out really nicely. We then moved on to make a dog collar, because he has this lovely ridgeback dog called Sunny, who is absolutely massive, and I did get to see him, which was nice. He's honest, he's such a lovely dog, but he is huge, and so we made a collar for him, which was nice. And then we finished up the workshop by doing a little wallet, which was nice, just a little card holder sort of style wallet, which was really good. And yeah, so that one went really well, which was really nice. And so Neil was the second person in the workshop this week, and he was there last weekend, and he was looking at sort of making more of the accessory side of things. And so again, as a complete beginner, we started out by actually doing a coaster, because I've actually found that that is quite a nice little project to start with. And so I have been thinking about remaking the stitching, how to stitch leather video with using this coaster project, because actually it is a very nice project to learn on, and it shows basically it's got all the skills in there that you need to be able to go on and make your own leathercraft projects. Now, we started out with that, which was really good. And like I said, it's a great project to start with because there's quite a lot of stitching in there. Basically, it's a double-sided coaster and it's stitched all the way around. So we've got quite a lot of stitching in that. And because for the leather that I would like to use for that, we're using 1.5mm leather, but obviously that's doubled, so it's about 3mm thick, and it does get people using the awl. It's quite a nice sort of thin leather to go through, so you're not having to put too much pressure like if you were using a bridle butt piece of leather. So we started out making the coasters, which went really well, so we did that, and then we moved on to making the bifold wallet, which is one of my favourite projects, and I really enjoy making that. So when Neil said that that's what he wanted to make, that was very exciting for me. So we got that one done. Again, Neil did really well, and then we actually had time after making that wallet to also make a small card holder, which was very nice. And what else did we make? Oh, we also made a belt as well, which was really good. So Neil did so well on that workshop, and he went home with a nice bundle of goods as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what he comes up with in the future when he does move on to doing his own leathercraft projects, which is quite exciting. Okay, so moving on to the world of social media. Now, I did actually have a bit of a viral TikTok, which is quite exciting. It's the first time I've had one of those. And that was on the hound collar, the padded hound collar video. And so I've released that basically as a short and also as a YouTube as a Instagram reel, and it's done pretty well on all the platforms, but TikTok is where it really took off, and it's had actually over 80,000 views, which is pretty insane, and it's my most watched video over on that platform. And then on Instagram it did pretty well as well. Actually, it's got over 10,000 views, which is quite good. So yeah, that was probably the most viral that I've gone on TikTok, especially when you look at the statistics for the next video that I posted, which was pretty much the same on the same time and day a few weeks later. So I usually post it on like a Saturday morning, and that one has got 500 views. So I've got no idea how any of the algorithms for these platforms work. However, for whatever reason, the hand collar did hit it off, which was quite nice to see. What's also exciting is that this week I have passed 98,000 subscribers. So the 100,000 is so close, and I'm hoping we can hit that at the end of the year. I reckon we can do. I think it's going to be quite close, but I reckon by the end of the year, if not my birthday, that'll be quite exciting. My birthday's in January, so that could be a nice birthday present, couldn't it? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. I've still got lots of videos in mind that I'm planning on making, and so hopefully that they will be of interest to all of you, and they'll get nice lots of views, and will encourage people to maybe subscribe to the channel. So yeah, that's exciting. And I still haven't decided what I'm planning on going to like do for the 100,000 subscribers sort of celebration video. I reckon we'll do a live stream for sure. I just have to decide what we're going to make in that. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions of what you'd want to see in a live stream, let me know, and I can put together your ideas and come up with, maybe we'll do a poll and see what people are wanting. But yeah, I reckon we'll do a live stream, even if we haven't got to 100,000. Maybe we could hit it live on the stream. That could be exciting. So yeah, I reckon live stream is where it's going to be, and what that involves, I'm not too sure yet. So let me know your suggestions on what we could make. And it might be that maybe we could do a full make along, so I could release a pattern or something. We could all make it together, which would be quite fun to do. So let me know your thoughts on that, and I can get planning, because it's not really going to be that far away. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for like a poll or just some more information about that when it gets a bit closer to happening. So to aid with hopefully hitting that 100,000 subscriber mark, I've got a few videos planned that I think you'll all be interested in. The first one being a little gadget for sort of covering poppers, which would be quite interesting to see what you think about. I've used it a few times and it's actually incredibly helpful, so I thought I would do a proper video on that. I'm also planning on getting the skiving video done this month as well, so all about hand skiving, and I've got a selection of tools that we can use for that, and should pretty much just show you how I use each one to skive different items and what like tool I would use for what situation. That one should be quite good. I'm quite excited for that as well. And then we've got to come up with some more make alongs, so I'm thinking that they're going to be a couple more like pattern based ones. Basically, I've got an idea in my head. So basically it's not like it is a full wallet, but basically it's like a wallet with a clutch combined, I guess. Basically it's going to have like your usual sort of note slots, card slot, maybe a cash pocket, but it's going to have a sort of a bigger pocket where you can actually fit your phone to. So it's going to be more focused towards sort of people who want to take it out maybe as like a clutch bag. And I'm thinking maybe have like a removable handle sort of strap on it. I haven't quite decided yet, so I want to plan that one because that's something that I've had in my head for a while, and I know what I want it to be like. So it's just getting it to a point where it works. It's sort of going to be, you get sort of leather phone cases, so I guess a bit like that, but where it's integrated, where the phone sort of slips into a pocket, and it makes sense in my head. So once I've got it making sense on paper and I've got a tester one done, I will let you all know, because I think that will be the next make along video, and that's probably going to be towards the end of the month, because I am going to have to make a prototype of that first to make sure that the patterns work before releasing them all because that wouldn't be very good, would it? So yeah, I've got to make sure the patterns work and then make the video on that. And so one thing we did go over in the last podcast, or that I mentioned, was my lack of time management. Now, what I decided to do was actually make myself a rota for this month, and I did pretty much keep to that, and it has helped quite a lot. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try and do that for another couple of months, at least to the end of the year and into the new year, to see how I get on with that. And yeah, it's just about scheduling my time, and I've got a few less commitments now with the workshops ending, and so hopefully I'll find things a bit more easier to schedule in and around. But to be fair, this month it was really good, and I got most of my videos done sort of at the beginning of the month, which meant that I was free to go up to Scotland for a few days and sort of doing the sealing and stuff like that in the workshop. Hasn't taken too much away from the other stuff that I need to do, and it's also sort of given me time that I can actually go down to my mum's next month and not worry about what I have or haven't done. However, and that might change if this cold really takes hold today/tomorrow, so we will see. Like I said, I was actually really happy with working to that rota. And basically what I did was schedule Mondays as a day off, full day off. And then Tuesdays, it's sort of a day off / planning day. So I can plan for my videos and write any scripts that need doing and that sort of stuff. And then depending on what it is I'm doing, Wednesday is filming, Thursday is editing, and then Friday is like extra sort of either extra editing or doing the orders and stuff like that. Then one day at the weekend is doing my photos up at the bike park if I can. And the other day is again sort of more editing / orders depending on how busy the week has been. So that was sort of the loose structure to it. And like I said, I did pretty much stick to that. It has changed a little bit because like I said, we went to Scotland for a few days and we've done the ceiling this week as well. But yeah, I'm pretty keen to keep up with that at least and to try and keep things going because that actually I did find it really helpful. So that is good. And like I said, hopefully if I can keep doing that, then it's just going to make things a lot easier for me to get clear in my head and will probably make me more productive and get more stuff done as well. So that is all good news. I know it's a bit of a shorter podcast this month, and that is partly down to the fact that I have a cold and my throat is a bit sore. I have done a coronavirus test and it's not that. It is a good old-fashioned cold. But the last time I had one, it was a good while ago now. It was like January 2020. I got laryngitis with it and I lost my voice. And the longer that I've been talking on this podcast recording, the more I can feel my throat going. And I'm hoping not to get it because it's going to put a bit of a spanner in the works if I can't speak tomorrow. It means I'm not going to be able to make my videos. So things might be delayed. So if there isn't a video out next week, it's because I've got laryngitis and haven't been able to do any speaking. But yeah, I think that is where I'm going to leave it this week. So thank you very much for listening along and I will catch you in the next one.